Well, hi, happy Monday, everyone. I hope you are ready to flow with me today. So as usual, every Monday at this time, we have our morning flow, our Monday flow. So yeah, today, all you need is your mat. So just roll it out with me, and we're gonna start in child's pose today. We're gonna have a nice flow, we're gonna stretch, we're gonna strengthen. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's find ourselves in child's pose, both toes together, knees wide, let the fingertips melt out forward, forehead to the mat. Great, so wherever you are here, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in your house, or wherever you are, let's just start to bring your awareness here to the mat. Maybe bringing it away from the to-do list or conversations that you've had outside of this space. And letting your breath slow down. Feeling your palms pressing into the mat, your knees, your toes and shins. And feeling the pressure of your belly as you inhale and exhale. Great, this is a great time here to dedicate your practice if you would like to someone that you love, or maybe an idea that you've been working on in your life recently. So feel free to do that as you inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's do another one right here. Nice grounding breath. Let's inhale through the nose and exhale. Great, it should feel nice. Now if Ujjayi breath is in your practice, feel free to start to tap into that. Ujjayi is our breath of fire. It'll build up some heat in your core. So we're going to inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, constricting the back of your throat. It should sound like the sound of the ocean. As you exhale, feeling that warmth build up in your core. Great, we're going to get a nice little stretch here, starting slow. So keep your body where it is. And then we'll bring your right hand over to the right edge of your mat. And then bring your left hand over to meet it, maybe even coming on top of your right hand. So you're creating a crescent with your body. And bringing your awareness to the left side of your body, press down into your left hip. Maybe even pressing down into your left shoulder. And we're going to take a nice deep breath here. So inhale through the nose, feel the side body expand. And exhale. Great. We're going to do 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Last breath here. Feel the stretch. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Walk the fingertips back through center. And then we're going to go to the left side here. So the left hand goes to the left edge of your mat. And the right hand can come over to come on top or beside until you feel a nice stretch. Just a gentle stretch along the right side of your body this time. Press down into the right hip and shoulder. And we'll start to breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Walk it back through center here. Inch your fingertips out through the top of your mat. Get a nice stretch into your upper back here. Great, then we'll come up into hands and knees. Bring the knees back in through hip distance apart if they were wider, and then inhale, let the belly fall down into a U. Roll the shoulders back and press the chest forward. Cow pose. Stretching the front side body. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest, cat pose. Feel free to move through those at your own pace here. Inhaling through cow. Expanding the chest. Exhale to cat. All right, last one. Bring yourself back through neutral spine. Take your right hand towards the sky. Simple twist towards your through your core. Exhale, bring that hand right across the chest, right shoulder down to the mat. You might stay right here if this feels good, keeping the hips high, or reach the left hand up towards the top of your mat. Twisted puppy dog pose. Let yourself melt down into the simple twist. Let's slowly come out of our twist. Bring that right hand to the sky one more time. And then exhale it right down to the mat. Let's go for the left side. Left fingertips to the sky. Twist through the core. Exhale, bring the left hand across the chest and shoulder down to the mat. Again, take your same variation you did on the other side. Maybe reaching the right hand up towards the top of the mat. And letting yourself sink down into your twisted puppy dog. Let's come back out, left fingertips to the sky, twist up, exhale, hand down to the mat. Great job. Let's take a couple of cat and cow. So inhale through cow, and exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Come through neutral spine, zip up that low core here. Tuck the toes under, that'll give you a little bit extra stability. And then we're gonna press that right foot back. I'm gonna come to the center of my mat. Press the right foot back. And then as you zip up that low core, lift the heel just to hip height here. Roll the shoulders back down away from the ears. Feeling super strong, super stable through the core. And then as you feel stable, you might start to bring your weight into your right hand and left knee. So you know where we're going. Left fingertips come up into bird dog pose. Reaching through the fingertips, reaching through the flexed heel. And we're gonna breathe right here. Don't let yourself hold your breath. Keep breathing. All right, we're not going to release just yet. So we're going to come forward, lifting the fingertips to the sky, lifting the hips just up a little bit as if we're going into a cow pose. And then as we exhale, like a cat pose, rounding the back, chin to chest, elbow to knee. Inhale through that cow, press the chest forward. Exhale through your cat. Take a little bit of balance. And exhale. Let's do one more on this side. Inhale and exhale. Great. Come out to bird dog pose one more time. We haven't released just yet. Let's bring your left hand down to the mat, but keep that right foot back and up. And we're going to do a couple of lifts. So make sure that that core is in and up, that you're not stressing your low back. And then we're going to do 10 little pulses at the top here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Don't let it down yet. Bend that top knee and lift for 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can feel it. 8, 9, and 10. Bring the knee down. We're not stopping just yet. Fire hydrants to the right, so keep that right ankle in your knee. And then we're going to bring that right knee up just to hip height, maybe even lower. It doesn't quite matter how high you get. And then bring the knee back down. So let's do 10 of those. These can be challenging as the side glute is not something that we work very often. This is 4. Trying to keep stable in the core. 5, 6, 7, 8. You guys got it. 2 more. And last one. Great. Bring it back through center. Untuck the toes. Child's pose if it feels good to you, or find something else that might feel better. All right, let's come back up into hands and knees. Knees back through hip distance apart if they've moved. And then we'll inhale through cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Curl the toes under, come through neutral spine and zip up that low core. Shoulders down and away from the ears as your left heel comes up. Just to hip height, no higher. Great. Stabilize yourself here with your core, and then slowly start to lift your right hand up into full bird dog. Again, reach to the fingertips, reach through the heel. Long line of energy here. Let's bring that right hand down to the mat. We'll take our 10 pulses here, just lifting that back heel to the sky. So lift for 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it right there. We can't forget our crunches. So let's bring that right hand back up. Lift into that cow pose. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale it out long. Exhale, knee. Inhale out. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale, hold. Place the right hand down, left knee down, and we're going to go for our fire hydrants on the left. Left knee comes up to the hip height and back down through center. Try to keep as stable as possible. If there's a little bit of movement, that's fine. Just trying to keep it still. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring it back through center. Take the knees wide, sit back, wide child's pose. Breathing into the hip points here that we've started working. All right, slowly come up to sit up onto your heels, and then we'll bring your knees in through hip distance apart. Sit up onto the heels, and then bring the fingertips right behind your toes. Press the chest towards the sky. Maybe let the chin lift towards the sky as well. This is an assisted or modified camel pose. All right, great. And release the camel pose. Swing the feet forward. Take them out in front of you. Flex the toes towards your face. bring the hands overhead and sit up tall. Reach through the fingertips. Low core is supporting your body as you reach towards the sky. Might be a little bit harder than you at first think to sit up tall. And then we're going to act like we're sitting up against the wall, and then we're going to start to peel first the hands away from that wall. Then the chin will come towards the chest as you peel away from the wall. Then the upper back. Then going through your mid back. And then we're going to come all the way down as we forward fold over the legs. So you might not go very far. That's fine. Wherever you are, reaching forward, relatively flat back. And then we're going to stack back up against the wall. Great. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale, peel away from the wall. Spinal articulation, let's bring it back. Great, bring the hands down right beside your hips. And then we're going to stack. You have two options here. I'm going to turn to show you. We're going to stack either into first option, cow face pose, stacking your right knee on top of your left. Both of your feet go out to the side. Ideally, your knees are relatively on top of one another. If your hip flexors do not allow you to do that, no worries. Maybe bring your shins parallel to one another into log cabin, or if that's not even accessible, then maybe just into an easy pose here. We're going to be working on just stretching the outsides of our hips because we've been working them strength-wise. So take your option wherever you are, and let's come into a eagle arms. So we're going to bring your right hand underneath your left. Cross maybe once, you might go twice. Lift the elbows to the sky. And then we're going to round the back elbows to the knees. Or shins, depending on which posture you're in. Inhale up. And exhale, round. Inhale it up. And exhale, round. Come back through center, lift the elbows. And release your grip here. Keep the knees where they are. And then we're going to sit up tall, roll the shoulders back and down. And then lean over the legs with a long spine. Trying to not let the hips lift up too much from the floor here. Pressing them down. All right, let's come back up through center. Great, should feel good. Let's go for the other side. So whichever leg is on top, look at that. We're going to take the opposite leg on top, whichever pose you're in of the three variations. Sit up tall, and then we're going to bring the left hand under the right this time. Maybe once, maybe twice. Lift the elbows, and then we're going to bring the elbows to the sky, lift the chin, and exhale, round. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Bring it back through center. Lift the elbows to the sky. And release. Great. Sit up tall here. Exhale, leaning over the legs. It's completely fine if you don't go down very far, just as long as you feel a stretch. That is where you should be. All right, let's come back up through center. And exhale, release the knees, then bring your hands behind your hips. Knees can go hip distance apart, and then we'll let them fall over to the right side. Bring them back through center and let them fall over to the left. All right, right, back through center. Now you should be facing the right way. I'm going to start to change into the correct position too. Let's cross the feet, come over the legs into hands and knees one more time. Curl the toes under, and then we're just going to lift your knees to come hover away from the mat slightly. So beast pose. Zipping that low core in. This is a really strenuous posture, even though it looks very simple. Continue to breathe. Don't let yourself hold your breath. All right, and then we'll lift up into your first down dog. Feel free to adjust the stance. But wherever you are, your feet should be hip distance apart. And your back should be flat. Other than that, you can have straight legs or bent knees, depending on what allows you to have a flat back. You should all have flat fingertips pressing into the palms. All right, let's start to continue to wake up the spine. So let's come up onto the tiptoes. Start to round the back and bring it forward into a plank. Press the shoulders away as you come into your plank. Then bending the knees, send the hips to heels, knees hover over the mat, and then press up into down dog. Great, let's do that again. Tiptoes, round it forward, into plank, hold, then bend the knees, hips to heels, hover, and down dog. And build some heat here. Let's come up onto the tiptoes, round it forward, hips to heels, and down dog. Great, this is your opportunity in down dog to take whatever movement feels good. So maybe just pedaling out the feet, maybe swaying side to side, maybe bringing the heels down side to side, whatever feels good. Inhale, look forward, and then we're going to take little baby steps as we come all the way to the top of your mat. Take your feet hip distance apart, and that should be 2 fist width in between your feet. Exhale, forward fold, completely fine if you're not down at the floor, just letting your fingers rest on the shins. Bring the weight forward into the toes. Slightly bend the knees, let your chest fall down onto your thighs, and then slowly roll up all the way through standing, stacking your spine one vertebrae on top of the other, roll the shoulders back and down. Let's start to warm up, giving ourselves a little bit more heat as we move into our sun salutations. So just simple sun salutation A. Let's inhale the hands overhead, press the palms together, take the gaze up. Exhale, tilt from the hips, finding that flat back forward fold. So maybe that's up here, and that's fine. Or maybe it's down here, that's also fine. Inhale up halfway, taking the fingers to the shins or the knees, roll the shoulders back and down, and the core is active. Exhale, hands down to the mat, and then we'll step it back into a plank. Flat back, low core in. For this first one, let's bring the knees down, and then the chest, and then the chin. Tuck the pelvis as you roll forward into a baby cobra. Exhale it down. Press back into hands and knees, curl the toes under, and then lift into down dog. We're going to take 5 breaths in down dog. Make them intentional. If you want to, maybe bring yourself back to your intention. Pressing the backs of the feet towards the back of your mat. Sorry, the backs of your legs to the back of your mat. Hips are super high. Inhale, let's step to the top of the mat. You might take 2 big steps this time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. And exhale through heart center. Great, let's do that again. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward. Inhale, look and lengthen. Exhale, down to a plank. Great, this time let's bring the knees down, making sure to keep that flat back from your plank. Send the elbows back as you hover down halfway. And then inhale, press the chest forward, full cobra. Exhale, back, down dog. All right, inhale, step to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. And exhale, heart center. One more time, inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look and lengthen. Exhale, plank. Taking your choice now, maybe on your knees, maybe on your toes. So hover down at halfway. Inhale, this time we might bring the knees up away from the mat into full up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. All right, inhale, step to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, heart center. Great. Bring the palms to heart center. Press the backs of your thumbs into your sternum. Roll the shoulders back and down. You might close the eyes. You might just take a moment to know what's going on in your body and in your breath. Bring the hands down right beside your hips. And then inhale, we're going to sit it back like we're sitting into a chair. Bring the hands overhead, maybe shoulder distance apart or maybe together, whatever feels good for your shoulders. Sit it down into your chair. If you look down at your toes, you should be able to see your toes in front of your knees. Zip up that core here. Keep your chair, but bring your hands down through heart center. Maybe sit a little bit lower. All right, now we're gonna bring your weight into your left leg, picking up your right foot, but keeping that chair pose. You might even squeeze your knees together, feel that heat in your left leg. And then we're gonna press that right foot back until you can lightly plant it down into a high lunge. Inhale, the hands overhead. Great, in our high lunge here, make sure that that front knee is deeply bent, but no farther than your ankle. And then that back leg can be straight or bent, but make sure that both of the hip points are pointed off the short end of your mat. All right, keep your feet where they are. Bring the hands down right beside the body. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, interlace them behind your back. Roll the shoulders open, make sure that that front knee is still bent. Maybe take a little bit of a back bend. All right, release the interlace of your fingers, come back to that high lunge. On your exhale, bring the chest to come hover over that front knee, creating one long line from the fingertips all the way to the heel. Alright, let's bring both of the hands down right beside your body, but that front chest, the chest, is hovering over your left knee. Press the elbows and the shoulders together like you're squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. Alright, bring it back up through center and extend that front leg long. Should feel good. Hop that back foot in until it comes flat. Maybe even wiggle out so that both of the feet are on railroad tracks instead of a tightrope. Inhale the hands to the waist. Make sure both hip points are pointed forward. Slowly forward fold into a pyramid pose. Now if you have blocks, feel free to bring your hands to blocks. Maybe you're down far enough to bring the fingertips to the floor, but we're going to try to not just dump over the leg, but keep that back flat. Intensify the stretch by bringing the left hip back, right hip forward. Alright, we're going to take your gaze up a little bit in front of your left toes, and then walk the fingertips forward as your right leg starts to lift. So into a standing L. Zip up through that core. Alright, now we're going to take a couple of Shiva squats here. So as we bend our left knee, we're going to tap your right knee right behind your left, just like this. Let's do 8 of them. That's 1. Lift up. Exhale, 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Go feel it. 7. And 8. Hold. Great. Start to extend that leg into that standing L. And then, if you can, your challenge is to bring your hands to heart center as you come up into warrior 3. Flex through the back toes. Low core is in, and working the left leg should be on fire. Great, bring that right foot down, stand it all the way up. Ooh, I can feel the left leg. And wiggle it out, maybe even shake the legs. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. Inhale as you sit back into chair pose. Slow, even breath. Bring the hands down through heart center and maybe sit down a little bit farther. Wherever you are, your low core is up and your toes are in front of the knees, like you're sitting back into a chair. Bring your weight into your right foot. Lift the left leg, keeping your chair pose. Then pressing the left foot back softly until, with control, you can bring it down to the mat into a high lunge. Again, let's readjust our high lunge. Make sure both of your feet are on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. That'll help you with your balance. Make sure both of the hip points are pointed forward. So if you find that your hips are pointed off to the left side, then you might just bring a little bend into your back leg. Deeply bend through that front knee, and your hands can be overhead. All right, bring both of the hands down right beside your body. Inhale them up overhead. Exhale them down. Inhale up. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back. You might take the opposite finger on top. Maybe take a little back bend. Keep bending through that front knee. Inhale the hands overhead. Exhale, lean it forward over that front leg. One long line of energy. Keeping with the breath here. Bring both of the hands down right beside your body, but keep that skier's lunge. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. All right, come back up through center. Extend that front leg long and then hop the back foot in until the foot is flat. Make sure the hip points are pointed to the short end of your mat. Bring the hands to your waist, and as you exhale, forward fold over that front leg until your spine wants to round, and that's where you can stop. Might be different depending on sides. That's completely normal. Bringing that right hip back will intensify your stretch. All right, take the gaze just a little bit in front of your toes. Walk the fingertips up as you come into that standing L. You should be feeling your right glute already. Pressing the chest forward. All right, let's do our Shiva squats. Right knee bends, left knee taps right behind. Inhale it up high. Exhale, tap. And lift. Tap. And lift. Tap. And lift. We have 4 more. That's 4. And 3. 2. And 1. This is your challenge. Bring the weight into your right foot. Flex your left toes. Come into warrior, warrior 3. Even teachers fall. All right, slowly bring the left leg down and wiggle it out. Great job. You can definitely feel it on that right glute. All right, so don't be scared, but we're gonna run through that one more time. But we're going to go a lot faster, I promise. It'll be a little bit easier as we go faster. I won't have to hold for so long. So when you're ready, come to the top of your mat. Take your feet for your stance for your chair pose. So that might be both of the big toes together, if that feels good for your body, or it might be hip distance apart. And when you're ready, take a nice breath and inhale into chair. Exhale, bring both of the hands down to heart center, maybe sink down. Inhale, bring your weight to your left foot and step your right foot back into your high lunge. Inhale the hands overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down beside the body. Inhale them up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. And exhale, release. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, hands right beside your body. And exhale, extend the front leg, hop the back foot in. Exhale, pyramid pose. We'll stay here for a couple extra breaths as we melt forward, and you might even notice a little bit of a difference between the first time that you went through your pyramid pose and now. All right, let's continue. Take your gaze forward, right in front of your toes. Lift up into that standing L. Exhale, Shiva squat. That's 1. Maybe a little bit faster. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hold it up into your L and lift into your warrior 3. Great, come to standing. Awesome, let's do the left side. Inhale, sit it back into chair pose. That went a lot faster. Exhale through heart center. Inhale, bring the weight to your right foot. And exhale, step it back. Inhale the hands overhead. Exhale them beside the body. Inhale them up. And exhale them down. Inhale them up. And exhale, bring both of the palms together to the back, interlace. Inhale, chest to the sky. And exhale, release. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, lean it forward. Inhale, hands beside the body. Exhale, extend the front leg straight. Inhale, hop the back leg in. Exhale, pyramid pose and hold. All right, take the gaze forward, take that L, standing L. Great job. And let's take our 8 Shiva squats. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great. Keep going, 3 more. Thought we were going for 5. We're definitely going for 8. That's 6, 7, and 8. Great. All right, your last challenge. Take it to your warrior 3. And come through standing. Awesome job. Open up to the long side of your mat. Angle both of the feet out a little bit towards the corners of your mat. Bend through your knees and take your hands to heart center. As you bend your knees and sink down into a goddess squat. Let your breath come back down from all of that movement. And maybe bring the backs of your palms to your knees. Great, keep it here in your squat, and then inhale the hands overhead. Exhale them down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, and then you might lift your right foot. Sorry, your right heel, not the whole foot. Great, and place that heel down. Now let's try our left heel. And place it back down. We have 10 more pulses here at the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Extend the legs long. Bring the hands down to the waist. Angle the feet in parallel to one another, and on your exhale, forward fold from your hips. You can let the fingers melt down in line with the toes if that feels good. All right. You might walk your fingertips to the left, bend the knee. You might walk the fingertips out to the right, bend the knee. Finding some movement and bending into the legs as feels good. All right. Make sure that the feet are just a little bit wider than your hips, not too wide. And then we're gonna bring the hips down to sink towards the mat until you find your yogi squat. You can even press the elbows into the knees to get some width here. And then if you can, slowly, 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 bring the hips to the mat, swing them towards the short end of your mat, and come into a boat pose. Great, let's lower down into low boat. A little bit of shaking is normal. And bring it back up to regular boat. Great, exhale down to low boat. And inhale up. And exhale. And inhale. Great, slowly, promise this is the last low boat. Come down to low boat and slowly, slowly, slowly lower down to the mat. All right, bend through the knees. And then you might windshield wiper them side to side. Plant both of the feet hip distance apart. Palms can go down right beside the body, and then scoot in the heels towards your glutes. Probably know where we're going here. We're going to slowly press that low back down into the mat so that there's no arch, no space. And then as you can start to continue to lift, first with the tailbone, and then coming up through the low back, through the mid back, and all the way to the upper back, but not to the neck. Hold your bridge. All right, and now here at the top, we're gonna take 10 pulses. So pulse to the top and a little bit down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold. If you need to, you can take the hips down to the mat for a break. But if you would like, we're going to take 10 pulses on our toes towards the ceiling. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, hold, and slowly lower down. Bring the knees into your chest and maybe sway side to side. All right, we have one more working pose. This one is our bridge pose, except with a little bit of a challenge. So just like before, press the lower back down to the mat and then lift the tailbone, the low back, rounding through the middle back and the upper back. You can take this on flat on the feet, or if you want to, take it to the toes. That'll definitely intensify. Bring the weight into your right leg, and we're going to lift your left leg towards the sky. Again, on the toes or flat. We're going to take 10 pulses here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring the toes down to the mat and take the same variation on the left side. Bring the weight to the left, lifting the right foot. Let's pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Toes down to the mat. Press the hips high and slowly roll all the way down. Great job. Let's bring that right knee into the chest. Left leg goes long. Squeeze it in. All right, and then bring the left foot to plant down on the mat. Place that right heel across the left knee, just like a figure 4. And then we're going to come into reclined pigeon pose as you wrap the hands around the left thigh. Flex the right foot and squeeze it in. Alright, now reclined cow face pose. Bring both of the knees to stack on one another, just like we did earlier in class. You might take a hold of the legs and squeeze them in as well. Alright, keep the legs where they are, but we're going to let both of the knees fall over to the left side. Extend the right hand out. Maybe unwrap the legs, bring the knees back in through center, rock it forward and back 2, wipe the slate clean, and then bring the left knee in, right leg goes long. Alright, plant that right foot down on the mat. Come into your figure 4 with your left knee, and then interlace the fingers around the right thigh this time as you flex your left foot, coming into reclined pigeon. Stack the knees one on top of the other, so the left knee should be on top. Maybe take a hold of the feet as you pull them in. Alright, and then we'll bring your right knees over to the right side into that twisted into the supine twist variation. Left hand can go out to the side. You might start to unravel the legs, bring the knees back in through center. Check the time. So your knees should be into your chest. Wrap the hands around your knees. Squeeze it in. Bring the chin to your chest and forehead to knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And at the same time, inhale through the nose. On your exhale, release it all the way down to the mat. Take the feet out wide, the hands out wide as well if that feels good. If you have any low back problems, you might bend the knees. That'll feel good to press your low back down. But whichever posture you're in, we're going to bring it down a few notches from all of the work that we've just done. If you find your mind wandering, we'll just bring it back here to notice your back pressing down into the mat. And noticing the movement of your chest. This is a great time to bring your awareness back to your intention that you started at the beginning. Focus on the slow, even inhale and the exhale that meets it. Great, now if you have more time to stay in this space, feel free to stay here on your mat. If you'd like to move on into the rest of your practice into your day, you might start to slowly wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bringing some movement and life back into the body here as you slowly roll the ankles and the wrists, point and flex the toes. Then bringing movement that feels good to you into your body. When you're ready, you can let your knees fall over to one side, let your head rest on your arm. And then we'll press up to a comfortable seat here on your mat. Maybe cross the legs. Let the hands rest on your knees, and then we'll end your practice with breath. So let's inhale through the nose and exhale. One more inhale and an exhale. Great. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, yogis. I am excited to see you again next week. Have an awesome week.